Welcome back. Today, we're diving into something absolutely crucial. We're talking about one of the most foundational ideas behind the modern internet. It's a concept so elegantly designed that without it, global digital communication at the incredible scale we see today would literally be impossible. We are talking about the invisible engine that powers absolutely everything you do online, packet switching. I'm super excited to break this down with you in today's explainer.
So let's kick things off with a big question. Say you want to send a quick email, a text message, or maybe upload a massive 10-gigabyte video file to a server. Does the internet send all that data as one giant continuous block? Seriously, just think for a second about what would happen if millions of users all tried to push massive files across the global network at the exact same time.
Well, if we tried to send that 10-gigabyte video as one continuous stream, total disaster. It would essentially monopolize the network. All of the physical infrastructure would be completely tied up trying to process that single enormous block of data, meaning anyone else trying to do something simple would just have to sit and wait. The result would be enormous network congestion, incredibly slow speeds, and just utter digital chaos. We clearly needed a much smarter solution to make the internet work for everyone simultaneously.
Imagine you need to transport an entire warehouse full of furniture across the country. Option 1 is to use one gigantic truck carrying absolutely everything. But the problem there is, if that single truck breaks down or hits a massive traffic jam, everything stops. It's a massive single point of failure. Now consider option 2. What if you split that huge shipment into many smaller trucks? Each truck travels independently, they're resilient, they're traffic-friendly, and hey, if one gets a flat tire, the rest of the furniture still makes it to the destination on time.
And that brings us to the actual magic behind the scenes, packet switching. This is literally that many small trucks architecture in action, and it's exactly how the internet avoids breaking down. It's a communication method where large amounts of data are broken down into small, independent pieces before they're ever transmitted. So instead of sending one giant clunky data block, the network sends many of these small pieces independently.
Let's zoom in on the real VIP of our explainer today, the packet itself. A packet is simply a small unit of digital information sent across a network. But the absolutely crucial thing to understand here is that it doesn't just carry a tiny sliver of your video file. Oh no, it carries both the data and strict instructions on how to handle that data. By using these tiny, incredibly smart little pieces, we totally eliminate the need for giant data streams.
If we crack one of these packets open, what's inside? Well, it's kind of like the ultimate shipping label. Sure, you have the payload data. That's the actual tiny piece of your photo or video. But wrapped around it, you've got the source and destination IP addresses, so it knows exactly where it came from and where it's going. You've also got protocol information, a sequence number, and error detection data. This metadata is the essential instruction manual that makes successful delivery possible.
Okay, let's track a file's actual journey from start to finish. Imagine you just hit upload on Google Drive. Step 1, the app generates the data. Step 2, your operating system divides that massive file into thousands of tiny packets. Step 3, it slaps on that essential metadata shipping label we just talked about. Step 4, those packets are routed independently across the internet. Step 5, the destination server receives them. And finally, Step 6, the destination system reassembles them back into your original file.
Now this is where it gets wild. Packets belonging to the exact same file do not necessarily travel together. I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? You could be sending a file from Manchester to Tokyo. Packet number 1 might travel through a backbone router in London, but network conditions change in milliseconds. So packet number 2 might get routed through Amsterdam, and packet 3 through Paris. They are completely independent travelers.
So, who's directing all this traffic and making these split-second decisions? Enter the routers. Think of routers as hyper-intelligent, lightning-fast traffic cops. They're constantly evaluating very specific factors: current congestion levels, available bandwidth, unexpected network failures, physical distance, and latency. By instantly analyzing all these variables, routers dynamically optimize the path for every single packet. They ensure the fastest, safest journey at any given millisecond.
Let's jump to the destination server in Tokyo. It's waiting for our file, which is made of multiple packets. First across the finish line is packet 1. Perfect. Exactly as expected. The destination server stores it and eagerly waits for the next piece. But wait! The very next piece of data to arrive isn't packet 2. It's packet 5. Why? Because packet 5 just happened to take a much faster, less congested route through Singapore, while the other packets got caught up in heavy traffic somewhere over the Atlantic.
It arrived completely out of order. A moment later, packet 2 finally wanders in. So the big question here is, how on earth does the receiving computer make sense of this jumbled mess? Right now it has packet 1, then 5, then 2. If it tried to play your video file right at this moment, it would be heavily glitched and totally unwatchable.
Well, no need to panic. Sequence numbers to the rescue. Remember that metadata shipping label we dissected a few minutes ago? Because every single packet carries a built-in sequence number, the receiving system knows exactly how to put the puzzle back together. It simply looks at the numbers, waits for all the pieces to arrive, and reorganizes them to reconstruct your original 10 GB file flawlessly. It essentially restores perfect order out of total chaos.
But what happens if a packet just vanishes, gets lost to signal interference or a hardware glitch? Well, our network protocols have clever ways of handling this. If you're using the TCP protocol, which we use for things like file transfers or loading a web page, it actually detects the missing packet and actively requests the sender to transmit it again. But if you're using UDP, like in a live Zoom call or a fast-paced online game, it usually just continues immediately without waiting. Because honestly, a dropped frame of video is way better than a heavily delayed conversation. To really appreciate why this system is so brilliant, we kind of have to look backward for a second. Old telephone systems used something called circuit switching. They required dedicated, locked communication paths. If you were on the phone, that physical wire was entirely yours, even if nobody was talking. Locking up resources like that is terrible for efficiency. Packet switching, on the other hand, dynamically shares resources. Your packets are constantly squeezing into the tiny gaps between everyone else's packets.
When you put all this together, you realize something huge about how our world is wired. The internet is a massively shared global infrastructure. We're talking undersea cables spanning oceans, high-speed routers, sprawling data centers, and mobile networks. None of this is dedicated exclusively to you. Your streaming video packets and your neighbor's online gaming packets are seamlessly sharing these exact same physical infrastructures at the exact same time, efficiently coexisting.
Zooming out to the macro level, we can see how this builds modern tech. Entire cloud systems are totally dependent on packets. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, the APIs that make your favorite apps talk to each other, none of this would literally exist without packet switching. Global data centers are constantly moving enormous volumes of packets 24/7. It really is the absolute lifeblood of the cloud computing era.
And knowing this stuff, it isn't just cool trivia. It has massive real-world value. These strict rules of packet switching govern some of the most high-demand careers out there. Cloud engineers and network architects build and maintain these global highways. And cybersecurity engineers, they are literally inspecting these individual packets, looking for malicious code hidden in the payload. Mastering this foundational concept really unlocks some incredibly lucrative careers in the tech industry.
But all of this leaves us with one huge, pretty provocative question. If millions of devices, routers, servers, and cables made by thousands of different companies are constantly exchanging billions of packets every single second, how do all these strict networking rules actually agree with each other? Like, how does a router in London instantly understand a packet generated by a smartphone in Tokyo? Well, to answer that, we have to enter the 7 layers of the OSI model. But we are going to decode that mystery in our next explainer. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep exploring.